Hello, we are going to be discussing on some royal news in this video, the latest royal news. Of course, talking about the royal dream team, Kate, William, Sophie, and Edward step in for Queen in appearance today. Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William, and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, are among the royals stepping in for the Queen today at a key event. Buckingham Palace has disclosed which members of the royal family, will participate in the third and the final garden party, taking place at the Queen's official residence in London. Kate and Prince Williams will lead a large group of, working and non-working members of the firm. So, comprising Princess Beatrice, Sophie, and her husband, Prince Edward, two of the Queen's first cousins, Prince Richard, Duke of Gloucester, and his wife, Bridget, Duchess of Gloucester, will also be in attendance. During today's party, the royals will meet some of the 8,000 guests, who have been invited for being outstanding members of their communities. These royals are representing Her Majesty, who this year hasn't been at any of the parties that have taken place at her London palace. The Queen Elizabeth, is also not expected to attend the garden party scheduled for June 29, at the palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh. So announcing the Queen would skip all the four garden parties planned for 2022. The palace said in a statement earlier this month, Her Majesty will be represented by other members of the royal family at this year's garden parties, with details. Announcing the Queen would skip all the four garden parties planned for 2022, the palace said in a statement earlier this month. Her Majesty will be presented by other members of the royal family at this year's garden parties, with details on attendance to be confirmed. Prior to May 18 garden party, Prince Charles, Princess Anne, and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, placed the rainy weather on May 11 to welcome guests of the palace on the first garden party since the beginning of the pandemic. Announcing those invited on the day, there was England's Chief Medical Officer Sir Chris Whitty, one of the most prominent figures during the pandemic, and a young NHS fundraiser. Garden parties were created by Victoria, the Queen, in June 1968. Through the decades, they evolved to become a way of paying tribute to people who have contributed to society in outstanding ways. Her Majesty has been experiencing episodic mobility issues over the past few months, which have forced her, to miss out on the number of events, including the state opening of Parliament, the National Service of Remembrance, and the Commonwealth Day service. So don't also miss the Royal Family Live, Harry and Meghan's Netflix Go Out window through a live blog. Meghan and Harry to be given new spot alongside Royal Family in London. Don't also miss Queen and Danish monarch use affectionate nicknames at launch. Nevertheless, in recent weeks, the monarch has delighted the public with 4 public appearances. On Monday, I think Her Majesty taught the Chelsea Flower show with a twist as she visited 10 gardens, transported on a golf buggy. A Buckingham Palace spokeswoman commented on the sovereign appearance on the golf cart, saying adjustments have been made for the Queen's comfort. This wasn't the first time the monarch adopted a similar vehicle to carry out an in-person visit. In 2013, the monarch, was seen using the golf buggy during the coronation festival in the gardens of Buckingham Palace. Earlier this month, the monarch stepped out also to watch events on the second day of the Royal Windsor Horse Show. 2 days later, she became, as she watched in person, the last day of equestrian show, a gallop through history. The the spectacle included more than 500 horses and 1,000 performers, including the sovereign granddaughter, Lady Louise Windsor, who led a parade about Prince, of course, Williams. So more on May 17, the monarch stepped out to visit Paddington Station and officially launched the Elizabeth line. Her presence at this engagement was not announced ahead of time, with Buckingham Palace only saying Prince Edward would be in attendance. So the Queen also continues to carry out daily duties, daily activities as head of state and head of the Commonwealth. On Tuesday, she was pictured shaking hands with the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, as he visited her Windsor Castle. So that's how it is. Of course, talking about the news that made. Then let's talk about another news. Royals brace for Sussex. Documentaries as couple have to deliver stuff that gets headlines. Talking about this news when it comes to the royal family. The royal family are bracing themselves for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's upcoming dockeries. The royal experts have just claimed a few months after their exit from the British royal family, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry signed a multi-million-pound contract deal with Netflix. Although the couple are yet to release any content via the streaming service, it was recently announced that they are set to star in a fly on the wall style docuseries. Speaking on the latest episode of Royalty US, hosts Christina Garibaldi and Christine Ross discuss how the royals are bracing themselves for what is to come, because the Sussexes have to deliver stuff that gets headlines for sure. Joining the host on the latest episode of Royalty Us was True Royalty TV's co-founder Nick Bulletin. Miss Garibaldi asked Mr. Bullen whether the royal family would take issue over the Sussexes' upcoming at-home documentary style for Netflix. Mr. Bullen said, "I think the royal family will have major concerns about what's in this documentary because history has proven that when Harry and Meghan speak, they often say things that, how do I put this politely, impact around the world. Look, the Oprah interview was explosive. Even when Harry then does the interview at the Invictus game where he talked about trying to make sure the Queen's got the right people around her, that he's trying to protect his grandmother. I mean, these are very, incendiary things to say. And for sure, he added, if your son or brother was saying that about your mother or grandmother, you'll be like, I don't know, is that suggesting that I'm not protecting her? So I think there are concerns about what's going to be said in the centuries. He continued by saying the reality is that the Netflix are paying a lot more money for Harry and Meghan content, and Harry and Meghan will deliver stuff that gets headlines for sure. Mr. Bullen suggests that this means there is a lot of nervousness about that, and also surrounding Harry's upcoming memoir. So he concluded, everyone wants them to be part of the family. Everyone wants them to try and build bridges and repair all the damage that is going on. Hence, the Queen inviting them to be part of the Jubilee celebrations. But sure, I think there are concerns about what's coming down the road. Also included in their Netflix deal was a show Meghan had been working on titled Pearl, which has now been axed. For our now cancelled project, Meghan was due to be credited as a creator and executive producer of that series. The reason for the axe is cutbacks made by the streaming platform. Prince Harry's upcoming bombshell memoir was previously set to be released later this year, but the publication date has now been pushed back. Speaking on GB News this week, royal expert Raphael Rihedel Manko discussed Prince Harry's book. He said, "We think part of that reason for postponing is that so that he can inform about his visit to the UK for the Jubilee celebrations." He added he could perhaps be reporting on private conversations. An official release date for Harry's memoir is yet to be announced. Also here with me, I can see some other headlines like Royal Family Life, Axe to Grind, Meghan brace for ex-husband to unveil a remarkable tale. We also have things like Royal Family Life. What a mess. Meghan blasted for degrading public gesture with Harry. We also have royals reunite as Meghan and Harry given spot alongside Queen at London, Madame Townsend's. We also have Queen disappointed by Harry's outburst to closest aide. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Then another one, we have royal fan backlash as Sing Sweet Caroline at street parties emerges everyone. We also have a lot of things here talking about Meghan fights back tears in surprise appearance to honor 21 killed in Texas school horror. Harry and William set for frosty reunion next week at Sussex's Jubilee visit years. Meghan slammed for negligence as sister warns you have to live with it for your life. We also have things like I am grateful and thankful that we live in an engaged and generous society. We have Meghan and Harry are royalty to us. US royal fans clash with Britons ahead of Jubilee. Also have I am grateful and thankful that we live in an engaged and generous society. Crowds move around her. Kate steals Queen streaks as Duchess takes over palace parties. Also have Meghan Markle and Prince Harry face conundrum over visiting Thomas Markle in the hospital. Also have really weird place. Meghan and Harry stuck in limbo as Sussexes play royal in the US. We have royal poll, should Meghan Markle visit her father in hospital? Also have cannot excuse Harry blasted over Sir mistrust of Thomas Markle as Duke urged to visit. Also have royal family life, asked to grant Meghan brace for ex-husband to unveil remarkable tale. Also have Kate and Prince William spark royal frenzy as couple caught in rare moment of affection. We have Ainsley Harriet breaks silence as he saves sister from drowning at Chelsea Flower Show. Michael Sheen claimed Queen shoved him away during OBE event before no return award. We have disrespectful Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration viewers slam Tom Cruise interview. We also have things like 13 best electric shavers and razors for every budget. We have Harry and Meghan snubbed again as Sussex's televised encounters with Royal Limited. Prince Charles is in no mood to help Camilla on royal engagements like a spare part. The secret behind Babel, an expert explains why this app is best for. We have let me see. We have, what do we have here again? I think so far. Okay, I think we can go now to the next story concerning the royal family over here. Let's see. Let me see the next here. I think here we have. Okay, Queen disappointed by Harry's outburst. The closest aide one Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Yeah, the Queen was disappointed in Prince Harry after his alleged outburst at a right-hand woman, a royal author has claimed. So the story goes like this. Robert Jobson, author of William at 40, the making of a modern monarch, claims the Duke of Sussex was described as petulant and short-tempered by royal staff in one of his outbursts, Prince Harry took aim at the monarch's royal dresser and advisor Angela Levin by telling her what Meghan wants, she gets. In relation to this, then fiancée Meghan Markle ahead of their royal wedding, according to Mr. Jobson. Mr. Jobson said when Harry's tiresome behavior reached the Queen, she was disappointed because Mrs. Kelly is very special to her. The 95-year-old is said to have addressed her concerns with the Duke directly. A source told him, Angela is very special to the Queen. She is an essential part of Her Majesty's inner circle, and the two women, have developed a very good friendship over the years. When she heard what happened, she was a little disappointed, especially as the Duke of Sussex would have known Angela was just trying to do her best for him and his bride to be, and wouldn't really be able to answer back. Mr. Jobson said courtiers told him royal staff, would often look out for Prince Harry's mood swings, which were compared to his late mother, Princess Diana. The courtier said, Charles admits he often finds it difficult to gauge either of his sons' occasionally unpredictable moods. In that aspect of their nature, both princes are very much like their mother. So let's see. They both have quite extreme good swings. Just as Diana did, she could be your best friend 1 minute and the next hour your worst enemy. It comes after Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's royal biographer, Miss Scobie, claims the Duke of Sussex accused Miss Kelly of a cruel bid to put his wife in her place. Mr. Scobie previously claimed the monarch's royal dresser and advisor made it almost impossible for Meghan to have a hair trial before her royal wedding and even stood her up. Then again we have let's see I'll talk about this. He claims sources said Prince Harry, who is 37 years old, felt the move were a cruel attempt to put his wife to be at a time in her place. In a blog post for Yahoo, Mr. Scobie said it was also the Queen's right-hand woman and dresser, Angela Kelly, who multiple sources told me made it almost impossible for Meghan to have a necessary hair trial with a chosen wedding tiara, even standing up for the Duchess to be and her hairstylist, who had flown in, especially at the pre-scheduled fitting. Harry, sources said, felt it was a cruel attempt to put his partner in her place. Meanwhile, Prince Harry appeared to issue a veiled warning to those closest to the Queen in an interview with NBC, saying she wanted to make sure his grandmother was protected and that the right people around her. Harry did not elaborate on whether he was referring to royal aides or members of his own family, but his comments are likely to have, deepened his rift with his father and Prince of Wales and his brother, the Duke of Cambridge, as well as perplexing place officials. Then let's see again, continued by saying Prince Harry and Meghan currently live in California with their two young kids, Akil Harrison and Lilibet Diana, after making the decision to leave the firm in early 2020. They will return to the UK in a matter of days to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which will be a great thing to do if they come. So yeah, let's see, we have some other good news here saying let's see. We have things here like let's see. Harry and Meghan set for enormous £18 million funding windfall for causing close to couples' hearts. We also have Kate's favorite takeaway laid bare, but William wouldn't eat it with her, while Royal Poor should Brighton sing Sweet Caroline to the Queen. We also have should have played a bigger role. Royal family urged to use Princess Beatrice at Jubilee. Did Queen proud? Kate and William hailed by royal fans for stepping up for frail monarch. Havoc with drivers. Queen's Jubilee warning as street parties to spell bank holiday chaos. Meghan Markle unlikely to visit her father Thomas in hospital as bridge is burned. Aki and Lilibet to skip Queen's Jubilee Thanksgiving service as royal family reunite. Queen's historic coronation close-up only captured by cameraman's naughty trick. Royals brace for Sussex 2 centuries as couple have not delivered stuff that gets headlines. Platinum Jubilee emoji. How do we use the Platinum Jubilee? The corgi icon. Queens faced with three major challenges on eve of Jubilee. How do you follow that? So also have here with us not often you see Princess Beatrice steps to fall in rare royal outing as Queen missing. Meghan Markle pay silent tribute to daughter Lilibet Diana ahead of first birthday in UK. Prince Harry look-alike to rake in £5,000 from very profitable Jubilee celebration gigs. So lovely to see you, Kate, reunited with the old friend and Holocaust survivor at 92. We are humans, Princess Charlene hit out a rumor sparked during public absence. He said, right. Another one says, Brits share what they would do if they were monarch for the day, like tackle climate change. Queen urged to back down in shock poll as Britons back Prince Charles and also William. Duchess channels her inner Mary Poppins in Edwardian style dress as at a garden party. Meghan Markle and Harry tipped to join Queen for first time in 2 years at Jubilee service. Royal Superfan has 5 rooms dedicated to the Queen. People as if it's a museum. Queen's new statue of her riding favorite horse to be unveiled at Sandhurst for Jubilee. Meghan and Harry hire Michael Jackson's extremely loyal ex-bodyguard after security role. Queen spends a lot of time, nurturing Kate and William's relationship after mistakes. First a struggle, then positive impact inside Prince Charles' time at the Gondostrom. Queen squealed over Prince Andrew move, not always a very good judge of character. Didn't fit his monarchy vision. William thought Meghan's plans too political for family. Is there such a thing as royal protocol? Meghan fancies back. Royal family compassionate. Meghan urged to visit her sick father's bedside. Prince Trust Awards. How Charles set up life. Changing charity with just £7,000. Adorable way Princess Charlotte keeps in touch with cousins Archie and Lilibet. Royal family quiz talking about test your knowledge of Queen's children and grandchildren. Platinum Jubilee quiz questions and answers test your royal knowledge. Queen's back. Meghan and Andrew back on his snub, supported by Britons as 80% stand by place. Princess Beatrice's name changed after Queen snubbed original is to Yuppie. He will be our king too. Romanians hail Charles' love for their country after latest trip. Kate and Prince William's battle reign as they step up duties for frail Queen in pictures. She's no fool. Queen is breaking free from past as she prepares William and Kate. Another news here that we're going to be talking about: Meghan slammed for negligence. Her sister warns you have to live with it for life. Meghan Markle has been slammed by her sister Samantha, who has accused her of negligence, claiming that the family hasn't heard from the Duchess since their father suffered a stroke. She warned Meghan that she will have to live with it for the rest of her life. She came after their father, Thomas Markle, suffered a stroke earlier in the week. He was crushed. He was rushed to the hospital on Monday evening after losing his speech. Speaking to GB News, Dan Houghton tonight, the Duchess of Sussex's sister said he's been through so much: 2 heart attacks, a pandemic, and now a stroke. She claimed never did Meghan contact him at work, to work it out. God, if 2 heart attacks, a pandemic, and a stroke don't speak to her, then it's between her and God now. There is no other way. If she can't find it in her heart and doesn't have the moral conscience to reach back to him while his life hangs in a balance and he's reaching out on her, then there is no point. Shame on her, in my opinion, and she's going to have to live with it for the rest of her life. She doesn't have a lot of time to fix this, and it is her moral obligation to fix this. Mrs. Markle also accused her sister of elder abuse, saying her disregard for him, never reaching out through 2 heart attacks, through a pandemic, knowing that he was trapped in the house because of media pressure, all things taken together, it really took a toll on his heart, on his health, and she had to know this wouldn't be good for him. So I feel there is a negligence there, in my opinion, and I feel like it is, my opinion, elder abuse, because she had to see that what was happening. She wasn't blind to it. She saw what was happening in the media, so I don't understand how she could just do nothing, washing it up. He continued by saying Mrs. Markle previously called Meghan's actions unforgivable. Speaking after her father's stroke, Mrs. Markle told the Daily Mail, "My father is recovering in the hospital. We ask for privacy for the family, for his health and well-being. He just needs peace and rest. God's peace. We are praying. He just needs some rest." She added, "It's a travesty how much he's been tortured and how much he's had to go through thanks to my sister's disregard the past few years. That's unforgivable." Thomas Markle was loaded into an ambulance in Tijuana by paramedics on Monday at around 9:30 p.m. According to TMZ, Mr. Markle was unable to, speak, instead being forced to write his symptoms down. He was initially transported to a hospital in Tijuana, Mexico, where he pictured breathing through an oxygen mask. The 77-year-old later thought to have been transported to a hospital in Chula Vista, California. His latest health issue means he is unlikely to be able to return to the UK for the Queen's Jubilee, which he had planned to do so. Okay, I think so far that report is gonna end there. Then also we are also going to be talking about this other one, claiming that Kate Middleton, Prince William, Princess Beatrice, and more royals at last Buckingham Palace garden party of 2022. The third and final 2022 Buckingham Palace garden party took place on a partly a rainy day, today in London. Queen Elizabeth being a regular in garden parties over her 70-year reign, but due to her ongoing mobility issues, other members of the British royal family are stepping in to host this year. Today's party was hosted by her grandson Prince William, and he was joined by Kate Middleton, Prince Edward, Sophie, Countess of Wessex, Princess Beatrice, and the Duke of Duchess of Gloucester. The final garden party of the year will occur in the Palace of Holyrood House on June 29. Scroll through all the best photos. We can see photos of Williams, Kate, Beatrice, and the rest of the royals at the third Royal Garden Party of 2022. The first you can see here, The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrive at the event together. This is Kate's second garden party of the year. The Williams first. Second, talk about Kate, William, Prince Edward, and Sophie, Countess of Wessex. The third, we have. They shared a smile before they entered. Kate opted for a custom-made long-sleeve mini dress in a soft hue. She previously wore the pastel frock on the 50th anniversary of the Prince Charles investiture as the Prince of Wales back in March 2019. William and Sophie walked into the garden party. Sophie went for an all blue look today. At least week's garden party, she opted for a floral ensemble, a close-up of Kate's magnificent hat. Princess Beatrice was also in attendance. We have Beatrice chose to wear a patterned headband. Of course, they also have this one saying, "It rained on and off during the event, so Kate was spotted holding an umbrella as she spoke with guests. Prince William spoke to guests as it rained as well. Kate spoke with two elderly guests. Also have the rain didn't stop the royals from enjoying themselves. The backdrop of Buckingham Palace provided an exquisite setting for the party. There was a long line of guests waiting to chat with the Duchess of Cambridge. The sun came down and umbrellas were no longer needed." Yeah, so that's it. We also have some very interesting articles on seeing photos of Queen Elizabeth released, Prince Charles meets with Ukrainian refugees. Also have things like important things here we have. Let's see. Okay, let's see the other news. Let's talk about the other news in this video. Harry and Meghan set for enormous £18 million funding windfall for cause close to couples' hearts. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex traveled to the Hague of the delayed Invictus Games in April. The Duke of Sussex, 37, founded the Games back in 2014 as a competition showcasing the abilities of injured and wounded servicemen and women. So as I said, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex traveled to the Hague of delayed Invictus Games in April. The Duke of Sussex, 37, founded the Games back in 2014 as a competition showcasing the abilities of injured and wounded servicemen and also women. Prince Harry announced last month that Canada would be the host nation of the next Games, which now include adaptive winter sports. The 2023 Games will take place in Düsseldorf, Germany in September next year. In April, Prince Harry said, he was extremely excited to declare Canada a destination for the first hybrid winter games. He added, "With deep respect, I'm also pleased to share that the games in Canada will be held in partnership with the First Nations in the spirit of truth and reconciliation with indigenous communities." I continue by saying, ahead of the preparation taking place, the Canadian government and the regional government of British Columbia are both donating £15 million, Canadian dollars, to support the 2025 Invictus Games. So the competition will be held in Vancouver and Whistler. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said the 2025 Games will have a uniquely Canadian feel combined with the profound impact the Games had on ex-service members. He told the crowd in Vancouver, for the first time ever, the classically Canadian these Games will include winter sports. He added, "We all know that when it comes to winter sports, our Canadian competitors will show them how to do it." He continued, "You can have every bit of that drive and that push and that quest to give all you are to your teammates, to your service, to your country." He said, "That is what Invictus allows you to do, not just competitors, but the comrades, the families, and all of us to live to experience, to celebrate. The British Columbia Premier John Hogan said the region was proud to host the most inclusive event yet. He commented, "We are proud to bring in the 2025 Invictus Games to British Columbia alongside local host nations. We look forward to welcoming athletes to Vancouver and Whistler, the most accessible, innovative, and inclusive Invictus Games yet." Canada had special significance, for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who first debuted their relationship at the Toronto Invictus Games in 2017. The couple along with their eldest child Aki briefly moved to Canada before permanently settling in California, where they now reside. This comes just days after Prince Harry announced 2 new nations will be competing in future games. On May 18, the Invictus Games Foundation revealed that Nigeria and Colombia will join the roster in the new community structure. Prince Harry said the world felt the power of Invictus community last month in The Hague, and now I am delighted to announce that we have 2 new nations, Colombia and Nigeria, joining our inspiring international family. He added, as we continue to harness the power of sport in recovery and rehabilitation year-round, I am proud to share that Invictus is now presented across every continent except Antarctica. The Invictus community of nations is built by the resilience of the men and also of the women who serve us, have served, and it is a distinct honor to offer even more wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans the opportunities to be included in the community and programming that we offer. I think so far that's it there so far. Looking at some other news around, Samantha Markle gave update on father stroke could have been fatal. Another one we say Kate favorite takeaway laid there, but William wouldn't eat it with her. Talking about royal poll, should Brighton sing Sweet Caroline for Queen? Should have played a bigger role. Royal family urged to use Princess Beatrice at Jubilee. I think they're interesting so far. Let's see what's happening here. She warned Meghan that she would have to live with it for the rest of her life. She came after her father, Thomas Markle, suffered a stroke earlier in the week. He was rushed to the hospital on Monday evening after losing his speech. She claimed, never did Meghan contact him to work it out. God, if 2 heart attacks, a pandemic, and stroke don't speak to her, then it's between her and God now. I think we spoke about this one earlier. There is no other way if she can't find it in her heart and doesn't have the moral conscience to reach back to her father while his life is still in danger, and reaching out on her, then there's no point. Shame on her, in my opinion. Big shame on her. And she's going to have to live with it for the rest of her life. She doesn't have a lot of time to think to fix this, and it is a moral obligation to fix this mess. Her sister also accused, of course, her of elder abuse, saying her disregard for him never reaching out through 2 heart attacks, through a pandemic, knowing that he was trapped in the house because of corona. Uh, so I feel there's negligence there in my opinion, and I feel like it is in my opinion either abuse because she had to see what was happening. She wasn't blind to it. She saw what was happening in the media, so I don't understand how on earth she just did nothing, just watching it all. I think those are good reports there. Good reports over there. She added it's a travesty how much he's been tortured and how much he's had to go through thanks to my sister's disregard in the past few years. That's very unforgivable. Thomas Markle was loaded into an ambulance in Tijuana by paramedics on Monday at around 9:30 p.m. According to TMZ, Mrs. Markle was unable to speak, instead being forced to write his symptoms down. He was initially transported to a hospital in Tijuana, Mexico, where he pictured breathing through an oxygen mask. The 77-year-old later, thought to have been transported to a hospital in Chula Vista, in California. So this latest health issue means he's unlikely to His latest health issue means he is unlikely to be able to return to the UK for the Queen's Jubilee. Of course, he can't return for that. He's not feeling good, and he can't force himself to go there because he's not in the best shape possible. A lot of reports these days have been talking about Meghan Markle, and many of them pointing blames at him, pointing fingers at him for a lot of negligence for our own family. Her father have been sick, her father have stroke, her father have been going through a lot for health-wise, but Markle has not given a damn about it. He's just there. We have not been getting any dangerous thing from them. So let's see. But let's see. There'll be a reunion, as we have been getting a reunion for the family as a whole. Everybody will come together. Yeah, so very interesting, very interesting to see that happen. Very interesting to see all of them coming back together, which will be really important to see. Okay, Prince Harry announced last month that Canada. Wait, sorry, I just made a mistake here. I think we can read this one. Let me see. Okay. Okay, what is there to talk again? I think we can go to this page of the royal background again. We can see Kate Middleton, Prince William's wife. Kate and Prince William, the prince, and also Prince Beatrice and Mount Royal's at last Buckingham Palace garden party of 2022. Prince William stepped into hosting duties on behalf of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth. The final 2022 Buckingham, I think so, yeah, the Buckingham Palace garden party took place on a partly rainy day, the afternoon in London. Queen Elizabeth being a regular at the garden parties of her 70-year reign. But due to ongoing mobility issues, both members of the British royal family are stepping in host this year. Today's party was hosted by grandson William's Prince, and he was joined by Kate, his wife, Prince Edward also, Sophie was there, Countess of Sussex, Princess Beatrice, and the Duke of Duchess of Gloucester. The final garden party of the year will occur at the Palace of Holyrood House. Of course, I said that earlier in 29 June. Scroll down, we can now talk about the photos of William, Kate, and the rest of the royals at the third Royal Garden Party of 2022. The first took of the Duchess and Cambridge arrived for the event together. This is Kate's second garden party of the year and William's first. Dressing good though. Love the dressing. Like talk about the next one. We say Kate, William, Prince Edward, and Sophie, Countess of Sussex, the third. So they shared smile before the entered. Kate opted for custom-made long sleeve midi dress to soft hue. She previously wore the pastel frock for the 50th anniversary of Prince Charles's investiture as a Prince of Wales back in March 2019. Let me see. Before we have William and Sophie walking to the garden party. The next one we have Sophie went for an all blue look today at last week's garden party. She opted for a floral assembly. A close-up for Kate's magnificent hat. Princess Beatrice was also in attendance, of course. Yeah, so going by everything you say, I think it's important we know all of them. And let me see. There are a lot of news on this. A lot. Don't even know what I can give again. But for now, I think they're okay. But let's see. Gosh. So let's talk a little bit about Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle have been slammed a lot these days about her behaviors. A lot. Because the reason has been her sister blaming her a lot. Their father is very sick. The father is in the hospital. And Markle don't give a damn about what is happening to her father. She needs to take care of her father, but her sister have been really annoyed. How things have been so far. And of course I quite understand her about that, given the fact that in our house yes. See, she warned Meghan that she would have to live with it for the rest of her life. Those are just the words her sister said today about, for her not even coming to see her father at the hospital was really bad. Speaking to GB News, Dan Orton tonight, the Duchess of Sussex's sister said, she warned Meghan she would. Okay, talk about that. God, if two heart attacks, a pandemic and a stroke don't speak to her, then it's between her and God now. Okay, I think I've spoken about it when the news are plentiful. The news are really plentiful. Sometimes I don't even know which one to talk about. It's really, there are a lot of news to talk about on this royal stuff, which we are going to be discussing as time goes on. We are going to be looking on that. So as things stand, let's see. What are we trying to say? I think Mrs. Markle also accused her sister for elder abuse, saying her disregard for her father never reaching out through heart attacks, through a pandemic, where knowing that he was trapped into the house because of media pressures. Well, that was not good at all from Meghan, to be honest. All things taken together, it really took a toll on his health, and she had now to be, and she noticed couldn't be good for him. So I feel there's a negligence there on our part, in my opinion, that I feel like it is my opinion. Everybody has their opinion. So okay, she wasn't vying to eat. She saw what was happening in the media, so I don't understand how she could just do nothing, washing it all. So there are a lot of trending topics about this, about the royal news. I don't know, but we are going to be talking for up to 1 hour, or it's still in 15 minutes. So I think we still have some decent time to go. A lot of time, decent time. Mrs. Markle previously called Meghan's actions unforgivable. Speaking after her father's stroke, Mrs. Markle told the Daily Mail, "My father is recovering in the hospital. We ask for privacy for the family, for his health and well-being. He just needs peace and rest. Godspeed. We are praying so hard for him." Speaking, we ask for privacy for the family, for his health and well-being. He just needs peace and rest. Godspeed. We are praying. Okay, those are the words from the sister. She just needs some rest for sure. She just needs some rest. She added, "It's a travesty how much she's been tortured and how much she's had to go through thanks to my sister's disregard and past few years. She's unforgivable." Thomas Markle was loaded into the ambulance on Twitter, and he was initially transported to hospital. According to TMZ, Mrs. Markle was unable to speak, instead being forced to write his symptoms down. He was initially transported to hospital in Chichuana, Morocco, where he pictured breathing down. Feeling already asleep. I don't know. So we're saying, according to TMZ, Mr. Markle was unable to speak, instead being forced to write his symptoms down. He was initially transported to hospital in Tijuana, Mexico, where he pictured breathing through an oxygen mask. 77-year-old later thought to have been transported to a hospital in Chula Vista, California. Latest health issue means he's unable to finish. It's really tough. Oh yeah, let's see the next article. What was saying that the next article? What's the next article? I don't know. I'll show you there. Yeah, so it's been a great discussion. So you guys will be following me up in this channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do ensure to subscribe. We're going to be discussing strictly on the royal news. The royal family is very large, very large. Of course, I will be putting more of my efforts on the Duchess of Sussex, talking about Prince Harry and the wife Markle. I think they are the most talked about, the most followed members of the royal family right now as it stands, and I think if we can focus more on them, then I think we'll get more engaged. So that is what we are going to be looking strictly in this channel, focusing on the royal family gist, the latest news on what is happening inside the royal family, and some also external interesting factors in the royal family, of course. um so you guys should always endeavor to stay tuned. Anytime I try to post, you should try to watch to get updated. Also, by saying this, I hope you have right, you have you have see the channel as a good channel. We try to see how it works out, because we're going to be looking strictly on royal stuff. Very, 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 very important, which it's good. It's good. You can as well leave your comments down below. As well. Don't forget to do that. So I'll really appreciate if you guys support me in every way possible to see that this channel grows to a higher height. So there are a lot of headlines. I don't think there's no way I can even be bringing all the news, because there are a lot of headlines that needs to be discussed, and I can't divide myself into two parts. So let's see how things will look like. Let's see. Before even going, just reading this article. What am I even saying? I'm just saying. We did spoke right about Meghan slammed for negligence as her sister once, by saying you have to live with it for the rest of your life. Meghan Markle has been slammed by her sister, Samantha Markle, who has accused her of negligence, a lot of negligence, claiming the family hasn't heard from that girl since their dad suffered a serious stroke. It's really I understand how angry her sister is. It makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense for what Michael have just done. Leaving the so she won. Let me see. Speaking to GB News Dan Wharton tonight, the Duchess of Sussex's sister said he's been through so much, 2 heart attacks, pandemic, now he has a stroke. She claimed never did Meghan contact him, to work it out. God, if 2 heart attacks and pandemic and a stroke don't need to hear, then it will forgive. So that is how it is. There is no other way. If she can't find it in her heart and doesn't have that moral conscience to come back, to reverse her mind to him, to that, why his life hangs in the balance now in the hospital. Shame on her, wherever she is. She should always remember she's going nowhere. Mrs. Markle also accused Meghan Markle of elder abusing, saying her disregard for daddy, never reaching out. It's terrible. It's really terrible to see such another development. But hopefully we pray for unity among the family members. Not like we're going for Meghan Markle and the family is not they're not united. Of course, it makes no sense. They need to. So let's see how I'll get there. It's been a tiring day. So let me see. Wow. It's gonna be an easy job, So it is what it is. As I said earlier, try to follow up on the channel whenever I post a video. If you want to ensure you stay up to date with the latest episodes, don't hesitate at all to subscribe to this channel. Don't hesitate. And you also have to give the video a like as well. Don't hesitate on that. so that we'll all be collaborating in our so let's see how it goes. What a mess. Meghan blasted with disregarding public gesture with Harry. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. Royal family life, active one. Meghan embrace her ex-husband. Wow, it's been amazing. So guys, with that we have come to the end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.